Hoosiers. I'm honestly getting tired of being positive. This is the third one we're doing today. And yikes. A lot too much positivity. But this team I actually love being positive on. So I don't know. I might say some crazy things here. Do you want to set the tone for Indiana best case scenario?
I think just laying the groundwork that you think that this team is going to win the Big Ten and that they're going to be incredible this year and they're a top 10 team in the country. I think that needs to be known.
Yeah, I've already said they're top 10. I've already said they're going to sweep Purdue, and I've already said they are going to win the Big Ten by 3 games. And that wasn't best case scenario version. So that's just what I think is going to happen. I'm kind of afraid of where we're going to go as this goes. We'll go player by player and give you a best case. This was inspired by David Klein's exercise he made us do for Michigan State a couple weeks ago. So let's start with Miles Rice. What's the best case scenario for Miles Rice this season?
That he's the best guard in the state of Indiana.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot of Braden Smith hype coming into this year by us for sure. And we believe that hype. But the best case scenario is that he ends up being better than Braden Smith.
Ooh.
Because he's Pac-12 freshman of the year last year, man. That's nothing to bat an eye at. Miles Rice might be a killer.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Except I don't think what are we doing? You think he could be better than Braden Smith? Really? Really? Remember who Braden is.
Best case scenario.
Braden's great already, though. You actually think the best case version of Miles Rice is better than Braden? Really?
There's a world.
Is there?
Maybe.
I'm not trying to get Indiana fans mad at me before all the nice things I say, but if the proposition was dialed up where they could get best case Miles Rice versus what Braden Smith already is, I think they would all never watch the movie Hoosiers again to take Braden Smith for 2 years.
Okay. Bonus best case scenario, Liam McNeely comes back.
All right. I think Miles Rice could be a first-team All-Big Ten guard. I don't think he's better than Braden, though. I think Braden's that good. And I think the best-case version of Miles Rice needs to include making shots from three, like a 35% shooter from three, 15 points, 4 assists. That's it. I think that if Indiana's that good, Miles Rice does that, he could be first-team All-Big Ten.
I like where I'm at. I think I did a good job of knocking you off your pivot early on Indiana video.
Yeah, I feel like we're going head-to-head, and I don't get why.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Who's the starting shooting guard?
Best case scenario, I think it's Trey Galloway.
I got really distracted because I just looked at my camera and realized that the way my table's cut, it looks like I'm leaning on top of these people playing golf right now. It's really interesting. Look at this. That's great.
That is kind of nice.
Make that putt right there. Sorry, Trey Galloway. I really got so distracted. I lost.
Yeah. I think best case scenario is Trey Galloway as a starting 2 guard, right?
Nothing on top of that. Just same guy he was last year, but starts at the 2.
But he shoots 32% from 3.
I think a best case would be 40% from 3. He had a really good shooting season the year before this. He just fell off a cliff last year.
Well, in the best case scenario for Indiana and for the team, do you think Trey Galloway was starting 2 guard?
For the team, no. For Trey Galloway, yeah. For the team,
okay.
No.
So are we doing team or Trey Galloway?
We'll do team later. The best case for Trey would be he starts at the 2 and a special 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 40% from 3.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Mackenzie Mbako, best case scenario.
Oh. Yeah, the best case for Mackenzie Mbako is that he is Big Ten Player of the Year because Indiana's the best team in the conference, and he is probably the best NBA prospect on there, and he plays like a lottery pick.
Best case scenario for Mackenzie Mbako is Big Ten Player of the Year. In the 2 head-to-heads with Purdue, he has 35 and 33 points. He gets taken 3rd overall in the NBA draft next season because he is the leading scorer in the Big Ten and a total stud.
My word.
It's possible. Like
It is.
we're on the same page right now. This is why Indiana's upside is so high, dude. I'm telling you. Malik Renew. What's the best case scenario for Malik Renew? You're going to be higher on this than I am. I'm scared of what you're about to say.
I think Malik Renew averages. I think he's the leading scorer for Indiana. I think he averages 18 a game. I think he pitches in. Not going to have as many boards, so I think like 5 to 6 rebounds, and right around 4 assists a game as well.
What is that? Is that a first team All Big Ten player?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. This is we're doing the Illinois thing, except these are more likely to me. We've said Miles Rice could be first team All Big Ten. We've said Mbako could be the Big Ten Player of the Year. I think Malik Renew could be, in a best case world, first team All Big Ten with similar numbers to what you said. It probably would require Ballo to like not be that good and or the guards to be a disaster, and you have to like play through Renew more as like a point forward. But it's possible. He's capable of that. I think the reality is like 16, 6, and 4. Very similar numbers to what he had last year, but maybe a little more efficient is the best case scenario. Umar Ballo, what's the best ceiling for him this year?
I don't know if this is a good exercise to do moving forward, because you want to know the first thing that came to my head?
Big Ten Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they feature him, and like he averages like a crazy double-double this season, like 18 and 12.
This is what we're learning the difference between Indiana and these other teams we're doing this for, because they could feature like 6 different guys and have them be that good. That's why I'm so high on Indiana. Umar Ballo's ceiling. Car, be careful.
Oh God, you're gonna do it, aren't you? I know what you're gonna do. Are you gonna compare him to that one fella that used to play in Champaign?
Umar Ballo's ceiling is a first team All American, and he's not the consensus National Player of the Year, but he wins like Sporting News National Player of the Year.
Greg,
There's a National Player of the Year split, and Sporting News gives it to Umar.
put your put your sunglasses on correctly.
I think the numbers end up looking like 18 points a game, 13 rebounds, if that happens.
My word, what a year!
A lot of guys miss shots on Indiana. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds.
That's the best case scenario. Everyone's broke.
It could happen. It could happen. No, it could happen. Like it could happen. Cannon Carlisle is first off the bench, I guess, in this world. I'll go first. In my opinion, Cannon Carlisle is going to start on this team. So the best case scenario for him is he starts. The best case scenario also probably is that Miles Rice isn't that good, and Cannon Carlisle is the best guard in this backcourt, and ends up like 14. The same numbers we said for Miles Rice, 14 points, 4 assists. That could be Cannon Carlisle instead.
Yeah, and I'd agree with all that, but also put another little extra on that. It would be similar to what you stated. Like I think like freshman year, what Jaden Ivey did with Purdue, like he came on late and started playing massive and putting up stats. I think there could be that same level of like Cannon Carlisle's just like that guy. Like he was a McDonald's All-American for a reason type thing.
Yeah. Luke Goody, best case scenario.
Best case scenario is he's Ginger Miller Cop.
I don't even care about the per game numbers or the role. I think he is what he is. There's no world where he starts. The best case scenario for Luke Goody is that he has a 30-point game where he makes 10 threes and they beat Illinois.
I was just gonna say the best case scenario is that they win a game because of Luke Goody against Illinois. Like he does it. He buries them with a 3.
And I do think it could happen, honestly. Bryson Tucker. Cart.
Greg.
Cart.
No, what are you gonna do?
The best case scenario is that Bryson Tucker's the best freshman guard in the league. It is.
You don't believe that though.
I don't, but it's the best case. His talent's that high. I don't believe it's going to happen because I think they're too loaded everywhere else. But there's a best case world where he's the best guard on Indiana.
I'm banning this positivity exercise. This worked with Michigan State because there's not the level of talent there are with other teams. We can't do this exercise with talented teams.
We got to Michigan State's fourth best player, and we are like, yeah, best case is like 9-3.
Yeah,
Like,
we're getting to the ninth guy off the bench. Oh yeah, maybe Big Ten Player of the Year.
Indiana, we're just like freshman of the year, player of the year, boom, boom, boom. What do you think his best case is though, for real?
Sixth Man of the Year.
Okay. You don't think there's any world where he starts?
I actually, best case scenario is like he's the starting two guard, and this team's incredible.
Right. It could happen.
God,
This
who's
is
the coach?
Do you now understand why I'm so high on Indiana? Because it's warranted based on this roster. It's real.
Yes,
It's real.
yes.
Gabe Cups was the best case scenario.
We get 5 Gabe Cups games.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and one of them's against Purdue.
My best case for Gabe is Indiana women's basketball gets their own version of like a Caitlin Clark, and Gabe Cup starts dating her. If he could pull the Connor McCaffrey off, that's a best case for Gabe for sure.
That'd be pretty good for him.
It'd be good for the brand of Indiana basketball too. Okay, I think that's everything. Do you want to give Mike Woodson a best case?
Best case scenario is that Mike Woodson shuts me up. That's best case.
I thought you could pivot that to like best case is Mike Woodson steps down and Indiana gets a different coach midseason.
Damn, didn't think about that. Damn it. Too much positivity. I don't work good in this environment.
You don't. You're really bad at this. What's the best case for Indiana, the team, though, to wrap this up?
They sweep Purdue. They hang at least one banner, preferably regular season. They go further than any Big Ten team in the national tournament.
How far is it, though?
Final Four.
You're going to stop there?
Yep.
So you said Purdue's best case is they win a national championship. And Indiana's best case is a Final Four?
Yep. Oh, no.
It's a best case, right?
Yeah, you know it. Why are you asking me that? You know it is. It's our third one. Yes, it is.
What, you know what? Here, take this. It's my dog shot collar. You're going to want this after I'm done. What's been the consistent trend, the consistent theme with Big Ten basketball the last 4 seasons?
That Purdue's just dominated.
But everybody else other than Purdue, what's been like the theme?
Can't get it done in March.
It's kind of that everybody's bad, right?
Yeah.
Like we remember some good Brad Underwood seasons, but like Michigan historically bad, Michigan State in a down, dry spell, Ohio State stinky, had to fire their coach. Iowa, does Fran even want to do this anymore? Wisconsin, yuck, Greg Gard. Like everybody's just kind of bad, right?
Yeah.
And everybody being bad has like opened the door for like Boo Booey and Chris Collins to look good. And like, I mean, Purdue was great. Don't get me wrong. Purdue is great. But like, Purdue looking so historically dominant has kind of also paired with the rest of the Big Ten being gross, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Best case scenario for Indiana is that every other Big Ten team is actually gross. There's no other top 25 team in this league, and Indiana runs the table 20-0 in the regular season.
My word. My word. Okay. That aligns with what you've been saying.
Sweet Purdue, 20-0 in the Big Ten, win the Big Ten title, win the national championship.
Good Lord, Gregory.
It's a best case scenario. It's a 1 of 1 outcome. 1 out of 1,000 times will that happen, but it could happen.